Good morning, you guys. It is currently 10:05 and I am now done with filming one of my upcoming videos on waking up early, and I thought, why not do our mid-year reset together? We're currently done with the first 6 months of the year, and now we have 6 months left. So I thought, why not do this mid-year reset with you? I will now continue filming another video and come back to you. I've been filming since 8:30. It is currently 11:04 and now I'm thankfully done. I filmed 2 videos and the huge intro to one of them, and now I will be filming the fourth one, which is this one where I'm doing my mid-year reset. I feel like we've started strong. I completed my filming way before than I actually thought. And here is going to be my to-do list for this reset. Let's start with the first one, which is to reflect on my previous goals that I set in January, which has been a while, and see how I'm going with those, see where I'm at, and then we will continue. Nice to see you all again. I was really bored in my room because I've been there since 7 a.m. And so I thought, why not come down to the living room? And I want to tell you a bit more about my process here. I do this on my Notes app, by the way, because I feel like the Notes app is the one app where you can just brain dump without any consequences. I feel like on my Notion page, I always have to feel more aesthetic and to keep things in place and organize them. And personally, before actually organizing my stuff, I want to just pour it all out and then pick and choose. The first thing that I made was last 6 months of 2024, where I reflected on my previous goals. I just listed all my goals, copy pasted them, and then just wrote my update. So, for example, reading. I had the goal of reading 50 books this year, and I read 12 of them. So I was like, yes, I'm 24% done, 76% to go. Okay, is this reasonable? Can I get these many books read in 6 months and all that? Later, I just moved on to dreamy goals. And these are things that are not very tangible, that I cannot really actually get, because it's not like something like, I don't know, posting once a week, because that is almost fully in my control, but these things are not. So I recommend doing that as well. What could this be? It could be a sponsorship, maybe, or it could be 10,000 subscribers. This is because you could be making great content. You could be posting every week, posting every day, and maybe not seeing the growth that you would expect. So instead of being discouraged, I just don't put such goals as goals, but I put them as dreamy goals, something that I would like to see happen this year. After that, I have my existing goals updated. This is a whole new column, and there it is better if you have header as your goal and then goal and a second column where you talk about your steps. That's how I do it. And here it is. I'm like, goal, YouTube, for example. And the goal here would be, for example, earning an amount of money or being monetized even. And in the second column, you just write out your steps to get closer to this goal. So, for example, posting one long form a week and maybe, I don't know, 5 shorts a day, however you want to do it. That's how I do this. And I feel like it gives you a clear path on the goal itself, like the big thing that you're working towards and also the steps that you need to take. So it helps you think small, because I feel like everyone is like, think big, see the big picture, all of that. But sometimes you don't need to see the big picture. You need to see the actionable little steps that you need to take every single day or maybe every single hour. So don't dwell on the huge picture and how well it's drawn, but on the small things like which brush you should use and how to get your paint on all that. And then I made a whole new list of new goals. These are goals that I didn't set up in the beginning of the year, but are new and I want to complete by the end of the year. My example is AP Physics that I'm doing, and this is a new thing because I'm going to be studying something I hadn't really planned on doing. So I am trying to prepare for that. And so I want to finish AP Physics by the summer as early as possible. So I do this list, and now I am going to be doing habits. I made this into a whole new page because I feel like it's very much different, because habits are something that you kind of want to do no matter what, but something like working on studying something or I don't know, applying to new jobs are not habits. You're going to finish doing some of these things, right? So I want to keep them separate, like skincare and working out. Those are things that you want to be doing, even if you have 1 million subs or 1,000, you know? So yeah, I have my habits for the rest of the year. I did not really divide them into old and new because habits are just habits. And generally, at least for me, I don't really change habits because I always have like a few that I really want, and that's pretty much it. I only pretty much add new habits. So I don't feel the need to make a more advanced list. And most of my stuff is daily things like vitamins and supplements, which I am really bad at taking. And after this, I will be doing my July goals. We are done with most of it, and I want to tell you a bit about what I do here. This is like the 7th time that I said the same exact sentence, but so after I finished my last 6 months planning and all of that, and the habits that I want to implement, I moved on to July as a month. It is the 2nd, so I'm a bit late, but I had been like starting on it for a while now. Here, I just format it in a way that I just mention a specific goal in like a header, and then it's just a list of things that I want to do. And here I want to keep things as simple and as actionable as possible. For example, again, on YouTube, I'm not talking about things like, oh, earn 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month, or unattainable things like get a sponsorship from Prada. So I'm just trying to keep it as real as possible so that when I'm looking at my planning and at my to-do list and my month, I can only see things that I'm supposed to do myself, things that I can control, so that I'm not discouraged that, I don't know, my video got 30 views instead of 3,000. But instead, I'm thinking, I was supposed to post a video and I did that, you know? And for July, I want to focus on more things like connecting and using these little but important tools like pinned comments and refining my description box and all that stuff. And hopefully, I'll start with this one. Keep it as real as possible. And I break it down to weekly, if I can, daily. And another more important thing here is that I do not assign days to things like studying. For example, physics. I'm self-studying, so I don't have any deadlines, I don't have any lectures, I don't have any classes, anything, or exams that I go to. So I say, for example, 2 to 3 units a week. So, for example, I'm saying by the end of July, I want to finish 10 units or something. So, what I'm going to do is say 2 to 3 units a week. Some days I'm very productive and I finish a whole unit in one day, and generally some things are just harder, so it's going to take me more time. It's because, again, you could be sick one day, you could have some kind of chore one day. So that's how I plan my month. And now the only things that I have left in terms of planning is to add my specific dates to my calendar. After that, I will also update my Notion habit tracker. Why is that? That is because it's my favorite thing ever on Notion. It is absolutely amazing. It makes me so happy. I have a weekly one and a daily one. So I will see you as soon as I possibly can to finish those remaining things to do. So at last, I finished decluttering my iPad and my phone. I still had board pictures from, like, I don't know, last year and the year before that. And that is pretty embarrassing. So I just got rid of those. And I feel like my issue was that I always try to hang on to things, and either I'm like, this specific little knowledge that I learned 5 years ago is either going to be useful or it's just a memory. And so I just keep a lot of things. So I try to get rid of those photos. And I feel like I was pretty successful this time, even though there's some stuff that I still left in. And let's start on the last step of this reset. All right, welcome to the desk view. We're now making my Pinterest board for the last 6 months of the year. It is pretty much called the last 6 months of 2024, and I invite you to do this with me. Actually, I think it is one of the most crucial steps to this reset for some reason. And I want to tell you a bit about what I'm going to be including in this one. And as you can see on screen right now, I'm going to be adding stuff for medicine and engineering first, because I feel like that is going to be a big part of the rest of my year, and I want to make it as easy sounding and as romanticized as possible so that it's much less scary than it currently is to me. Of course, I'm also including stuff like study motivation and studying aesthetic and all of that, and obviously content creation, as I want it to be a big part of my year as well. And lastly, the big parts that I'm going to be including in this one is the city that I'm going to be studying in, as it pretty much feels unreal to me. And yes, that is it. And I want to actually give you this quick tip of only including things that actually mean something to you and things that are attainable, as I've talked about in this video, to actually just keep things as real as possible so that you can actually achieve them and feel this motivation from your board. One thing that I hate about myself is that I always just go down one single rabbit hole when it comes to saving stuff to my Pinterest. And so I end up actually just having, I don't know, 100 pins on, let's say, medicine, and then it's 100 pins on content creation, for example, and then 100 different pins all in one row about, I don't know, topic three. And it really annoys me. And it also really annoys me that I sometimes accidentally refresh Pinterest and it just comes up with these things that I just don't need. It is so annoying. So I'll just see if this works better. No, it's not. Well, I'm trying to be realistic here. Like, this is much more aligned with my life as of now than maybe this, you know? Definitely going minimalist here since I can't bring a lot of stuff. And I absolutely hate the way that most of these rooms just are not dorm rooms, or they just don't look like dorm rooms. I just cannot freely decorate my dorm room like this with a huge desk and a huge bed and all this fancy stuff. So I guess we'll just give up on this, maybe, or maybe search like this. And then it's just the American type of dorm rooms, which absolutely does not look like mine. Again, very American dorms. And I feel like most of the dorm room ideas that they give just look like this. And this to me is incredibly cluttered. Like, I cannot look at this and actually sit in here or sleep in here with all of this, like, literally choking me and my eyesight. So I feel like most of the people that post these dorm room ideas generally have, for the majority, things that you can actually just tape on the walls, like posters and stuff. But then to me, again, a whole wall of posters is just incredibly cluttered, and so is all those like insane amount of leaves and fake plants and LED lights, all of that just hanging from random places. I just really don't like it. So I feel like we just cannot find anything in this spirit. One thing I love doing if I want to add more like of a spice into my boards is just search self-improvement aesthetic or something else that is very general so that I can find things that are actually related to it, and so they'll just keep coming. So maybe reading. And this is again what I absolutely hate about the Pinterest algorithm, where I just saved one single picture of a girl with an eye mask on, and you can only see one eye and that mask on that one eye, and this is what I just get afterhand. It's just incredible. I just really don't like it. It's way too much, way too much. This is how I actually organize my boards, where I just actually get one thing off the top. For example, since there's a lot of stuff about books here, I'll just take this one and I'll just move it down, maybe down to the bottom, and then I'll just pick something else from the bottom and then go up, maybe here somewhere, and I'll take something else from the top and I'll just move it down to the bottom. And that's how I just mix everything so that it's not the same thing over and over until, like, I don't want to have layers in my Pinterest board. I want everything to be actually really mixed in terms of what I have in it. When I just first look at it, I don't want to see a whole layer of a topic and then another layer and then another. So this is how I want to do it. Back to this angle, and now with the Pinterest board finished, I'm done with my mid-year reset. I think this was very much needed for me to just reevaluate everything. I really enjoyed doing this. Thank you so much for joining me. And I want to also give you this little note that it is not too late to actually do your reset, because it is just the beginning of July, and even by August you will have 5 months left of your year, and that is a lot of time. And so I would personally recommend doing this even if you're in September or in March, because it really helps you reevaluate everything, see where you're at, reflect. And again, I want to also remind you to do your monthly resets and plannings. If you do these consistently, you're going to notice the biggest change ever. And if you don't know how to do your monthly resets, don't worry, I have a video on just that in the description box below, and I will see you in the next one.